What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Random Video Blog, where every single Friday I, Graham G.S. Matthews, run down my rambling wrestling thoughts, share a few stories, etc., etc. And today's Random Video Blog truly is random. Now, it's very rare I talk about anything other than wrestling here on the Random Video Blog, but it was one of those weeks where not a ton happened, and anything that did happen I already talked about on Wrestle Rant Radio, like the Mixed Match Challenge show that's coming to Facebook Watch, or whatever it's called next month. All that stuff I already talked about on Wrestle Rant Radio on Thursday. So that being said, I just saw this yesterday on Thursday via 411mania.com. And I'm not a hardcore comic fan by any means. I don't read the comics. I only watch the movies. Mostly Marvel, but some of the DC movies too. I've yet to see Justice League, but I have no interest in seeing that. Anyway, this has been in the works for a while, I believe. I know it was reported I'd seen little rumors and rumblings a few months ago even, saying that Disney was in talks with Fox to buy them out. And I believe negotiations fell through at one point, and then they started talking again. Now it's official, according to Variety. Again, I'm reading this on 411mania.com. The report says, it's official. Disney is buying Fox. Variety reports that Disney has agreed to a $52.4 billion all-stock deal to gain 20th Century Fox, as well as other entertainment and sports assets from 21st Century Fox. This is a huge deal, especially as Disney looks to set up its own streaming service in 2019. So there's a lot of other little things to the deal, including shareholder stuff, what the deal values at, stuff like that, what else Fox is trying to acquire to bring to Disney, stuff like that. But mainly what it means, what I wanted to talk about, I'll scroll to the bottom of this report here. More relevant to movie fans, this means that Disney will get the rights to a wide variety of Fox franchises, including X-Men, Deadpool, and Fantastic Four, which means it's possible that those characters arrive in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when the deal is closed. Disney will also gain the rights to the only Star Wars film that Fox had control over, A New Hope. This means that those rumored Blu-rays of the original versions of the trilogy could finally come to fruition. Other Fox properties that Disney has the rights to include Alien, Predator, Modern Family, Independence Day, Home Alone, Planet of the Apes, and Ice Age, among countless others. So yeah, that's a pretty big deal, especially for the Marvel, superhero stuff, which is super cool. Again, don't jump down my throat. I'm a casual fan at best. I admit it. I'm a casual mark for the for comic book stuff. So I'm not exactly sure what this means for the future of those characters. As I had mentioned, Deadpool, and Fantastic Four. I mean, it would be super cool to see all those characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it is a little weird. I mean, I've talked about this on various occasions and other platforms and stuff, or maybe just to people in private, in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe being just superstar studded right now with the various personalities that they have. Now, they might kill off many of those people in the upcoming Avengers movie, which looks absolutely amazing, so I'm looking forward to that. But like, how many more superheroes can you incorporate after that? This phase is up, because they've been building towards this Avengers movie, Avengers 3, not Age of Ultron, Infinity War, for literally the last 10 years. So do you incorporate more people after that's over to fill in the spots for the people that left? Like, let's say, I don't think Doctor Strange will die, but let's say Spider-Man dies, and they go back to Sony. That's a whole other ordeal. Do you fill in that spot that Spider-Man had for about a year or so with a guy like Deadpool? Like, that's the question here. I don't think they would. I saw people tweeting about this the other day when this was still being finalized, that they don't want to see a Deadpool Disney movie, just because, and Ryan Reynolds was tweeting about it, which was funny, talking about, like, sexual tension with Mickey Mouse and shit like that. But in regards to Deadpool being, like, a PG-13 movie, that's something I wouldn't want to see. I really had no idea what Deadpool was until my roommate introduced it to me a few years ago, before the movie even came out, and I was hyped for the movie. I was kind of skeptical as to how it would be, but it was great. One of my favorite superhero movies in quite some time. I'm looking forward to number 2 in a few more months, but or maybe next year. I think it was June maybe of 2018. I don't know how Disney would do it though. Like that's the issue. Like it would be really cool to see Deadpool in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, being the Deadpool that we know and love as the current character with Ryan Reynolds portraying Deadpool. But would it translate to Disney? Like it's not all Disney. Like when Disney bought out Marvel, there was, there's a lot of questions as to how they would handle the franchise. Same thing with Star Wars. But by and large, you would have no idea that Disney has their hands all over it. At least in my opinion. I feel like they have altered those universes ever so slightly, to the point like, oh man, Disney ruined Star Wars, or Disney ruined Marvel. Like, you might think that, in my personal opinion, and in the opinion of many others. I don't think they have. So I do have some faith in that respect. But we'll see. We'll see. It's like, to make a good wrestling comparison, seeing Kenny Omega come to WWE. Like, it's cool to finally see him in the place that I've been watching for many years and that I know and love. But will he be the same Kenny Omega that we saw over in New Japan, where he didn't have as many limitations? Like, that's the issue. Has Disney ever done a rated R movie? Like, they probably have, but to my memory, I can't think of any, especially superhero movies. So I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what this means, but it is exciting, though. It is very exciting to see this deal finally finalized, I guess, for everything that it might mean for Fox coming over to Disney. With X-Men and Fantastic Four, Deadpool I'm more intrigued by. X-Men would be cool. I know Hugh Jackman recently gave up the role of Wolverine in Logan, which was fucking amazing. I completely forgot about that movie until a few weeks ago, but it was one of the best movies I've seen all year. So yeah, I mean, they would have to recast the new Wolverine if they did more X-Men movies. I'm not sure what they would do there, and if the guy who they recasted as Wolverine would get any shit for it. He probably would. So that would be interesting. Fantastic Four, if they do it right, then maybe, but the last 2 reboots of Fantastic Four were fucking terrible. I mean, those first 2 movies that came out in 2004 and I think in 2007 respectively, they were fine. They weren't good. As a kid, I enjoyed them because I was fucking in like 4th grade. So I liked them for what they were, but they weren't good movies in retrospect. Good superhero movies either. And the most recent reboot that came out like in 2015, I think it was absolutely atrocious. And thankfully, I think they scrapped all potential sequels for a reboot from Fox for Fantastic Four, for at least that version of it. So I really have no interest in seeing another Fantastic Four movie under the Disney umbrella. But then again, that's what they did with Spider-Man. I mean, the original movies I thought were good. And they rebooted it again as The Amazing Spider-Man back in 2012, 2014. I think the first 2 movies came out. They scrapped that. Then Spider-Man was brought over to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was in the Civil War movie about a year and a half ago. And he recently had his own movie, the Homecoming movie, which I really, really liked. So who knows? Now that Marvel Marvel and Disney had their hands on it, they made it a good franchise again. And people might say that about the Amazing Spider-Man movie, but it didn't make that much money, so take that for what it's worth. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this. It's really cool. I think Disney is becoming the WWE, the Vince McMahon of the comic book world, and when it comes to a lot of other things, but they're buying out this company and that company, this company. Like when they bought out Star Wars, they bought out Lucasfilm. That was a big fucking deal. When they bought out Marvel a number of years ago, that was a big fucking deal. And so far, they have done right by those respective franchises. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how this plays out as a casual fan at best. I'm sure hardcore fans will have their own thoughts or not in agreement with me, and that's completely fine. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. You can find me on Twitter and tell me how wrong I am at WrestleRant, or on Facebook as well at facebook.com/Graham.gsm.Matthews. If you haven't already, check out my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi Episode 8. Got to see a real cool pre-screening and employee screening on Wednesday night. So I got my early thoughts up on the movie. Spoiler free for those of you that obviously have not seen it yet. If you haven't seen it on Thursday night, or if you're waiting, until over the weekend, whatever, you can check out my spoiler free review right here on the channel. And I hope to do more movie reviews in the future. So I got a busy day ahead. I got to go to work. I got Final Battle Ring of Honor later on tonight. Henceforth, my Cody Rhodes American Nightmare t-shirt. So looking forward to that. But until next time, guys, I'm Graham Giason Matthews. Have an awesome rest of your weekend, and I'll catch your ass down the road.